stewards of God's land because it's all his. And so by God ordering this 7th year Sabbath for them, it's a way of reminding them that it's mine, and and it's going to take a day of rest, just like you're mine, and you take a day of rest. The land is going to get a season of rest as well, and it's going to get even more than that in a little while, because there's going to be a Sabbath of Sabbaths. There's going to be seven years of 7 years, seven years, and then the 50th year is like a big Sabbath. We'll talk about that in a second. The year of Jubilee, that's right. So it's a way of reminding that. It is a way to refresh the productivity of the land, to give it a year off. And we know agriculturally why that's beneficial and things. But he's even like, let it grow wild for a year. And then, which is kind of a lot of work too, but to come back in the next year and kind of reinstate it. So what happens then if, so you take a year off from that, it's like, okay, whatever grows in there, that's what's going to feed us for this year. So letting it go that 7th year is a testimony to your faith that God will provide whatever volunteers from that ground will be enough for me and my family. I'm trusting him for that. And you're also trusting that, so what happens in the 8th year when there's a famine or a drought? So these are acts of faith, trust that the Lord will provide for me and my family, and I will give it the year of rest, even if economically, agriculturally, or intellectually that does not make sense to me. I'm going to give it his year of rest anyway, because I trust the Lord more than I trust my ability to make sure my land produces what I tell it to. It's an act of submission to the Lord. That's what our stewardship and to be generous with what God has given us is an act of faith. That when we look at something that the Lord has called us to do, whatever that might be, and we say, we count the cost. Yeah, we sort of say, okay, we're not going to embark on $100 million blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go buy a $5 million